What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, CamATL, and welcome back to another NBA High Five video with your boy. Drop a like down below, comment anything in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure if you haven't yet, you head on over to greenlightdfs.com, get your daily package, you know what I mean? Play around the projections on the optimizer. As you can see, I am on the Greenlight optimizer. I have my projections in here. We're going to go through, put our five in, kind of send y'all on your way, and hope y'all have an amazing day. All right? Uh, we had a solid night last night. Cashed on DraftKings. Prize picks once again, man. So we went 10 of 11 a couple days ago, right? We got 10 of 11 prize picks correct. Then we've lost the last two nights by point 0.5. That's how close we were to smashing prize picks both nights again. Point 0.5 points. Literally. So yeah, that's frustrating. But hey, we're right there on it, and that's all that matters. Same thing with it's just at the end of the day, just like anything, the more research you put into things, the more you can compete on a regular basis, especially in DFS. So I'm excited about it. Thank you guys for joining me. The winner of the $50 giveaway from last video is Tamika Swan. Tamika Swan. Hit me up on Twitter at cam_ATL so I can get your PayPal information and send that over to you. Appreciate you watching. If you are a female, props to you. Love ya. If you are a guy using your wife's account, then cool. Love you too. But either way, I love when I see women names down in the comment section who are interested in DFS. It's pretty cool. So thank you guys for joining me as always. Let's go ahead and get straight into this, baby. Let's get it. So starting off at point guard, one of my favorite plays of the entire day is going to be Lamello Ball. First and foremost, his price seems too cheap at 8.8 for a guy who is so well rounded. His price has plummeted. He was just 9-4 in the last game. Now he's down to 8-8. He's going against Chicago, a team that he already put 51 up against earlier this year. And they're like second worst against point guards the last 7 games. So this is a tough spot for Chicago. Lamello Ball should be able to dominate here. And at the end of the day, you have Gordon Hayward out with the ankle injury. You have Cody Martin out, so they're hurt as well. So I'm really liking LaMelo Ball to really shine here with the price drop and the fantastic matchup. So LaMelo Ball is somebody I'm going to get exposure to. Now, before I move on, I have a lot of Portland, I'll be honest with you. That's because I'm not expecting any of these Portland guys that were traded to be available yet. Okay? So I want you guys to know doing this high five that I am not expecting these Portland guys to be available to play in this game yet. Okay, so I'm going to go off of it as if they still don't have these guys available and they are still extremely thin. All right, now if all of these guys are available, it's going to muddy the waters and it's going to be harder to predict where things are going to go. You know, it's trade deadline time in DFS, so it's going to get interesting. So you got to, try to, navigate things as best as you can. But as of right now, expecting them to be out. I got to go back to Anthony Simons. Anthony Simons is in a fantastic spot. Obviously, they're incredibly thin. He did not do what we wanted him to do against Orlando, but the bright spot is he did play 38 minutes. Okay, now he gets to go against the Lakers, who are bottom in the league versus point guards. This is a solid spot here, man. And if Portland's going to keep this game competitive, they're going to need these guys to really show up. So Anthony Simons is in a fantastic spot. I've got a couple more because honestly, it's the best value spot of the night. Justice Winslow is another one, and then CJ Ellaby are my guys that I like from Portland today. They're kind of my prioritized Portland guys today. Justice Winslow 4-5, CJ Ellaby 4-4. They just give you exposure to a team that's probably going to be extremely thin. Like I said, this is something to keep an eye on. If all these Portland guys play, shit's going to get a little tougher. But if they're all out like I'm expecting them to be, I don't expect them to pass their physicals and all that stuff that quickly. I mean, they might, but I'm not expecting them to. So I'm expecting them to be out. So Ellaby and Justice Winslow are going to play 30-plus minutes in this offense. Both of these guys should be able to hit value pretty easily here. So, and once again, the Lakers are one of the better matchups that you can ask for DFS-wise. So they're fantastic. All right, now, for my last pick, it's between a couple people that I'm thinking about. There's some fantastic matchups out here, and one of these guys are going to really go off. All right, I'm going to put in the high five, I'm going to go ahead and put Anthony Davis. All right. Portland is the worst in the league at fantasy points allowed to center over the last 7 games. Okay, within the last week or 2 weeks, They have been the bottom in the league at fantasy points allowed to centers. They're giving up a ton of points, they're giving up a ton of rebounds, and that's just not a great thing when you're facing a team like LA with Anthony Davis down low. Not only that, but Anthony Davis has just been on a tear, okay? In the last 5 games that Anthony Davis has played in, he's averaging well over 55 DraftKings points. All right, he got 59, and then he got 44. He had a down game against Atlanta, and then he got 57, 63, and 68. Okay, he got 57 in this last game against Portland. I'm really liking this spot for Anthony Davis. I mean, obviously for centers, it is a amazing situation. Let me put it in perspective for you. Bobby Portis from Milwaukee, center from Milwaukee, dropped 51 on Portland in 24 minutes. So it just goes to tell you how the upside of AD today is slate breaking type of upside. Okay. Also, it's something to watch to LeBron James. You know what I mean? I mean, on the back end of a back-to-back, coming back off of injury, we don't know what to expect there too. LeBron could miss. Obviously, it's something to keep an eye on watching AD. You got to watch both of these guys, obviously. But who knows? LeBron missed 5 games, came back yesterday, and wait, actually, he played February 5th. He played 40 minutes February 5th, and then he came back and played a good amount of minutes yesterday. Not sure 100% if he ends up playing in this game on the road here against Portland. So, AD and LeBron, either one of these guys could end up out probably. You know what I mean? But right now, out of the two, I'm siding with AD. The matchup is just tremendous here for Anthony Davis. There's nobody on Portland that can stop LeBron or AD. The only worry part you have here is that the Lakers could possibly come out and blow Portland out with them being extremely thin. Now, if their bench players are in and they've got, Hart and all these guys who have been traded, then it's going to make them a lot more competitive off the bench and a lot more balanced. But right now, they're just extremely thin. So it's a really tough spot for Portland. It could very well be a blowout. And that's something you definitely don't want to do. I mean, Ellaby and Winslow are going to be locked regardless. Simons might be limited a bit in a blowout. But at the end of the day, it's hard. It's incredibly hard to predict those things. Portland's at home in Portland. So, yeah, Anthony Davis. Now, I want to mention this. If you're worried about a blowout for the Lakers, or let's say I don't know. Yeah, if you're just worried about a blowout for the Lakers, right, and you think Anthony Davis on the back end of a back-to-back is too scary for you, another option that I've really looked at is Zach Levine. All right, now here's the deal. Charlotte's been pretty solid versus point guards this season because Lamello Ball's length is causing issues for point guards, right? So Kobe White, who's starting over Ao is hurt. Ao, whatever his name is hurt for Chicago. So Kobe White's probably going to get the start. Kobe White facing up against LaMelo Ball is a tough matchup for Kobe White because LaMelo's just much lengthier. That's been a problem for guards against him. I mean, he's not necessarily a fantastic defender, but his length causes a little bit of issue because he is very long. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a tall, lanky point guard. So, but shooting guards against Terry Rozier have had some very good success. Okay, they're like bottom 4, bottom 5 in fantasy points allowed to shooting guards. I would expect that to be a big thing for Zach Levine. As I was doing my research, another thing I noticed is Charlotte is bottom in the league at 3-pointers allowed per game to shooting guards. What do we know about Zach Levine? Yes, he can drive, he's a slasher, he can get to the bucket and slam it, or he can pull up for 3, and he's a fantastic 3-point shooter as well. He's been in 3-point competitions, all that. So Zach Levine is another guy that could possibly be slept on today, but is in a fantastic matchup and could have a ton of points by the end of the night. I wouldn't be surprised in the least to see Zach Levine over 50 points tonight. So he's an interesting player as well, but I'm siding with Anthony Davis in the high 5 mainly because if Portland, in fact, is as thin as I'm expecting them to be, obviously we got to kind of still wait and see some news on Portland, see if more guys are available tonight. But if they're not, and they're still that thin, you're going to want Portland guys just based solely on opportunity. And it's a good matchup against a bad Lakers defense. Now, the correlation way to go about it is to run it back with a Laker guy on the other end. And Anthony Davis is I mean, got the best matchup on the floor for them. So he could really go crazy here. All right. Especially if you got like LeBron out or something. You know what I mean? If they're trying to be careful with him. Or if AD's out, vice versa. You got to go LeBron in that situation. So pay attention to those things. It's trade deadline time. So a lot of things are moving. A lot of pieces are moving. So it's going to be interesting times for DFS. And I'm excited about it. So greenlightdfs.com, join the squad. And let's get it. I'm out. Peace.